The hot afternoon sun stretched across canyon ridge like molten gold as Emily Hartley knelt beside a fallen crate outside the trading post, trying to gather scattered apples before the dust swallowed them. But even with her head down, she could feel it, that stare again. Slow, steady, almost hesitant, but unmistakably fixed on her. She clenched her jaw, stood up sharply, brushed her dress, and turned with fire in her voice. "Cowboy, every time I bend down I catch you staring. Don't you dare deny it." Her words cut through the quiet street like a whip crack, freezing the few townsfolk who happened to hear. Luke Callahan, the soft-spoken rancher standing 20 feet away with his hat in hand, stiffened as if struck. His eyes darted to the ground, guilt and embarrassment written in the lines of his rugged face. "Miss Hartley, I never meant anything improper," he murmured, voice low but sincere. "It's just, when you've lived alone as long as I have, sometimes it's hard not to notice someone who carries sunshine with them." The anger on Emily's face faded, confusion flickering instead. She had expected a denial, a cocky grin, or some cowboy smart remark, not this trembling honesty that made her heartbeat slow. "Sunshine?" she repeated, softer now. Luke nodded once, still staring at his boots. "My ranch. It's quiet, too quiet. After I lost my family in that winter fire, the silence never left. But when you walk by, Miss Hartley, it feels like something wakes up inside me. Something I thought died." The wind paused, the dust settled, and for the first time, Emily felt the weight behind his silence. Luke Callahan wasn't staring at her the way men usually did. He wasn't admiring her figure or her clothes. He was looking at her the way a tired, lonely soul looks at a warm campfire after a cold night. She stepped closer, her voice turning gentle. "Luke, why didn't you ever say anything?" He swallowed hard. "Because good things scare men like me. When you've lost too much, hope becomes dangerous." Emily's chest ached at the raw truth in his tone. She'd misjudged him entirely. He wasn't a man with wandering eyes. He was a man starved of companionship. "Luke," she said quietly, "I'm sorry. I didn't understand." Luke finally lifted his gaze, eyes deep and vulnerable beneath his hat brim. "You had every right to be upset. I should have spoken to you properly. I just didn't know how." A small, unexpected smile tugged at her lips. "Well, now you have." For the first time in years, Luke felt a flicker of warmth spread through him, not from the sun, but from the kindness in her eyes. And as the wind brushed softly past them, the strained moment between them shifted into something gentle, something that felt like the beginning of a story neither of them had planned, but both of them suddenly wanted to see unfold. Emily took a slow breath, letting the tension settle into something more comfortable as she bent down to pick up one of the apples. Luke instinctively crouched beside her, helping gather the rest. "You don't have to," she said softly. "I want to," he replied, and though the words were simple, they carried a sincerity she couldn't ignore. As they placed the apples back into the crate, Emily found herself stealing small glances at him, noticing the steadiness of his hands, the quiet strength in his shoulders, the calmness he carried even when flustered. She realized then that Luke wasn't a man of many words, but every word he chose had weight. They walked toward her wagon together, the silence between them no longer heavy but warm. "Luke," she said after a moment, "I'm glad you told me the truth." He nodded, the faintest smile touching his lips. "I wasn't planning to, but you deserved honesty." She rested the crate in her wagon and leaned against the wooden side, watching him as he gently closed the tailgate. "You know, most men around here talk too much," she said with a small laugh. "But you say just enough." Luke scratched the back of his neck, cheeks flushing. "Never been good with words. My pa used to say I speak with my hands, fixing things, helping folks. That's where my voice is." Emily stepped a little closer, her eyes searching his. "You helped me today. That counts." Something softened in Luke's expression. He looked at the horizon as if steadying himself, then turned back to her. "Emily, I'd like to talk to you more, properly, not from a distance." Her heart fluttered, unexpected, gentle, warm. "I'd like that too," she whispered. From that moment on, a quiet bond began weaving between them. Emily would stop by his ranch with supplies or fresh bread, pretending she was just passing by. Luke would meet her in town more often, offering to carry things or fix small items in her shop. Their conversations were simple, but full of meaning. Two lonely hearts learning to open, slowly, carefully. One evening, as the sun bled orange across the western sky, Emily visited Luke's ranch. Horses grazed peacefully, and the corral fence cast long shadows across the earth. Luke stood by the gate waiting for her. "I'm glad you came," he said. "Me too," she replied softly. They talked about their days, their hopes, their fears. Emily found in Luke a man who listened more than he spoke, who cared deeply even when he didn't know how to show it. And Luke found in Emily a warmth he'd forgotten existed, steady, bright, fearless. As the final rays of sunlight kissed the land, Emily glanced at him and said with a shy smile, "Luke, I don't mind if you look at me anymore." "Now I know why." Luke's breath caught. "I'm done hiding it," he said quietly. "You bring something back to me I thought I'd lost forever." Under the vast, open sky, their hearts settled into a gentle certainty. This was just the beginning, a promise of hope, healing, and a future waiting somewhere beyond the wild horizon.